Hi class. Tonight our notes are multiplication using partial products. It's found in Swun 2-7. Again, anytime I'm writing with green, you're copying. Anytime it is red, you're stopping and watching. If at any time you need a pause and rewind, go ahead and do so. These notes might look really familiar to yesterday's and you're like, I already did these. They are different. So last night's was a review of 4th grade. Today you're going to learn the 5th grade way to solve multiplication using partial products. So tonight I will multiply using partial products. That's what we want to do. That's our end goal for today's lesson. Our vocabulary is the same as yesterday. The 5 and the 2, whatever two numbers you are multiplying together, those are known as factors. And then your answer, in this case 10, that is known as a product. Partial means part of. And then our notes are going to look really similar to yesterday. We are going to talk about expanded form. So the 4 is in the tens place, so I have 40 plus 8. The 8 is in the ones place, so it is just 8. 40 plus 8. 326 in expanded form. I have 3 in the hundreds place, so I have 300. I have 2 in the tens place, so I have 20. And then I have 6 in the ones place, so I have 6. Then I have 819. I have 8 in the hundreds place, so I have 800. I have 1 in the tens place, so I have 10. And then I have 9 in the ones place, so I have 9. This is where it gets different from 4th grade. So step number 1, we're going to write the longer factor on top of the smaller factor. Be sure to line up the last place value. Last meaning all the way to the right and all the digits. This is very important. They have to line up on the right side. Multiply each digit from one factor with each digit from the other factor. And then add the partial products. Okay, I'm going to get out a red pen and show you an example. So you're just watching. And again, this problem that I'm going to show you is just like yesterday's too, but we're going to do it the 5th grade way. So I'm going to have my notes up here with my steps. So step number 1, write the longer factor on top of the smaller factor. Not greater factor, longer factor. So I look here, 2 digits, here 2 digits. So it doesn't matter which one goes on top. So I'm going to just put the 54 on top of 28. I'm going to write the longer, same numbers in this case though. Step number 2, I'm going to just read this starred. Be sure to line up the last place value in all the digits. So I look here, they are lined up. So we're good. Okay, so step number 2, multiply each digit from one factor with the digit from the other factor. So this one, I'm going to have to multiply by the 4, and then I'm going to have to multiply it by the 5. This one, I'm going to have to multiply it by the 4 and then by the 5. Okay, so this is where it's going to get a little challenging. So I'm going to put my multiplication sign. You're going to always start with the 8. We're going to multiply 8 times 4. So 8 times 4, that's going to get me 32. So I always start at this bottom right corner and I multiply up to my ones place. 8 times 4 is 32. Now I'm going to multiply 8 times the 5. But we talked about this earlier with our notes. That 5 is actually in our tens place. If we go back to our notes, we saw 48. The 4 is in the tens place, so we have 40. In this case, we have 54. The 5 is in the tens place. So I'm actually multiplying it 8 times 50, not 8 times 5. So 8 times 50 would be 400. Now I'm going to multiply this 2, and I'm going to start by multiplying the 4. The 4 is in the ones place. This time, the 2 is not in the ones place. The 2 is in the tens place. So I have 20 times 4. 20 times 4 is going to be 80. And now I'm going to multiply this 2 times this 5, which this 2 is 20, times not 5, but 50, because it's in the tens place. So 20 times 50 is going to get me 1,000. So I did step 2, where we multiplied each digit from one factor with the factor of the other factor. Now we need to add our partial products. So now I'm going to add. These are our partial products. So 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 0 plus 8 is 11 plus 0 is 11. 1 plus 4 plus 0 is 5. And we have our 1, so we have 1,512. Now, I'm just going to double check we finished all of our steps. We are done. We're going to do the exact same thing for this next problem. So again, step number 1 is write the longer factor on top of the smaller factor. Be sure to line up the last place value and all the digits. So I'm going to put 317. I need to line up the end number. So I have, this one's longer, 6 and the 3 and the 6 for 63. I have to line up the 3 under the 7 because they're both in the ones place, and the 6 underneath the 1 because this 6 is in the tens place and this 1 is in the ones place. Okay, now I draw my multiplication sign and the equal sign. Step number 2, multiply each digit from one factor with each digit from the other factor. So I have my starting spot. I always start with that 3, the bottom right corner, and multiply 3 times 7. 3 times 7 is 21. Now I'm going to do not 3 times 7, but 3 times 1. But that 1 is in the tens place, so it's not 1, it is 10. So I'm multiplying 3 times 10, which is 30. Now I'm going to multiply 3 times 3, but this 3 is not 3, it's 300. So I'm multiplying 3 times 300, which is 900. Now I'm going to multiply this 6, because I've multiplied the 3 by everything. Now I need to multiply the 6 by all these digits. So 6 times 7, but this 6 isn't in this is in the tens place, so it's actually 60 times 7. 60 times 7 is 420. Now I'm doing 6 times 1, but the 6 is in the tens place, so it's 60, and the 1 is in the tens place, so it is 10. 60 times 10 is 600. And now I have 6 times 3. 6 is in the tens place, so it is 60, times 3. The 3 is in the hundreds place, so it's 300. And when I multiply 60 times 300, I get 18,000. Next step is add the partial products. I ran out of room, so I'm going to rewrite that. I have 21 plus 30 plus 900 plus 420 plus 600 plus 18,000. And now I'm just going to add 1, 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 2 more is 7, 9 plus 4 plus 6 is 19. 1 plus 8 is 9, and I have the 1. So I have 19,971 as my answer. Okay, I am getting out my green pen. we are going to do step number 1. We're going to write the longer number on top. They are the same, so I'm going to write the 42 on top of the 31. I made sure that they lined up on the end. Draw my multiplication sign, draw my equal sign. Multiply each digit from one factor with each digit from the other factor. So I start in the bottom right corner. So I'm doing 1 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Now I'm doing 1 times 4. But that 4 is not in the ones place, it's in the tens place. So it's actually 1 times 40. 1 times 40 is 40. Now I'm multiplying the 3 times the 2. The 3 is in the tens place, so it's 30 times 2. 30 times 2 is 60. And then I have the 3 times the 4. They're both in the tens place, so I have 30 times 40. 30 times 40 is 1,200. Step number 3 is add all the partial products. So I'm adding 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus 6 plus 0 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. I have an answer of 1,302. Okay, we have one more problem that we're going to go over. We're going to first write the longer factor on top of the smaller factor. So this one's the longer factor. So 231 times 25. I made sure that I lined them up on the right. Okay, step number 2, we're multiplying each digit from one factor to each digit with the other factor. So I'm going to start with my 5, and I'm going to multiply 5 times 1. They're both in the ones place, so it's just 5 times 1 equals to 5. Now I'm doing 5, which is in the ones place, times 3, which is in the tens place. So I have 5 times 30, which equals to 150. Now I do 5 times 2. 5 times 2 in the hundreds place is 200. So 5 times 200 equals to 1,000. Now I've done all the factors. I've multiplied all of these with all of these. Now I need to multiply the 2 by all of these. So 2 times 1. The 2 is actually in the tens place, so it's 20 times 1, which equals to 20. Now I do 20 times 3, or 20 times 30, because the 3 is in the tens place. 20 times 30 is 600. And then I get 2 times 2, which is actually 20 times 200. 20 times 200 is 4,000. And I am writing way big. I hope you guys are writing smaller. So last step is add the partial, sorry, you can't see that, add the partial products. So now I need to add all of these together. So I have 5 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 5. 5 plus 0 plus 2 is 7 plus 0 plus 0 is 7. 1 plus 0 plus 6 plus 0 is 7. 1 and 4 is 5. So I have 5,775. You have 2 homework problems and then rate your understanding. Have a wonderful evening.